19 years old, I never imagined this. I wanted to mention a little bit about this movie because I remember at 19, we lived week by week. That was as far ahead as we could possibly see in our futures. And it was so exciting to us at that time, we really didn't need to look any further. There was no planning, there was no ideas about someday we would do this. It was, where are we next weekend and what's going on? And I see some younger faces out there, I see some faces like mine, but for the younger ones, let me tell you what was going on and why this is so different than even the music scene I see today, except in some areas that I love some of the music that I hear today. We had a war. And unlike the war we have today, we were invested in it because our sorry butts were going overseas and being drafted each and every day. We had also grown up listening to single individual artists. We listened to Dylan, we listened to Ray Charles, we listened to Chuck Berry, we listened to single artists, and when the British wave came over, all of a sudden, it was identifiable players in an identifiable band with an identifiable sound, and they were writing their own music. It has just exploded, and it exploded especially out in California. And you had two very distinct different groups of people playing music. We had the Bay Area, and we had Los Angeles, and you could tell the sounds instantly apart from each other. Bay Area rocked. Southern California had those damn little Farfisa organs that they just loved to pound on. It sounded so wimpy to us in the Bay Area. They had the Whiskey A Go-Go, we had the Fillmore Auditorium. And I have to tell you, walking into the Fillmore Auditorium and going into the dressing room and seeing the names of everybody who had ever played there because they signed their names on the wall, you were just blown away. I mean, you know, you just touched these different artists and you just said, oh my God, we're here. Bands, everybody wanted to be in a band, and everybody could. If you knew 3 chords, G, F, and C, you were in a band. You could play 2 hours at a fraternity party, the same damn songs over and over again. Your repertoire was Gloria, Louie, Louie, and Twist and Shout. That was a whole evening. And so that's how you cut your skills and your growth. And you knew when you were in a band, sometimes a band worked and sometimes it didn't. But that was okay, they were your buddies. You kept them going. Sometimes it was somebody's brother in the band. And you kept it going because you just loved the joy of playing music. I was in one of those bands. And we struggled. We struggled. The only applause we ever received was one night when somebody pulled a plug on one of our amplifiers. Largest applause. When our lead guitarist launched into a lead break, or what he roughly called a lead break, his fingers got stuck under the strings. That was not one of the best of bands. One night, I was up in my bedroom doing chemistry homework, and a phone call came in. My dad said, somebody wants to talk to you about a band. I'd never met the person. He said, we have finished our band. We need a lead singer. Are you interested? It's called the Chocolate Watch Band. I said, hell yes. Where do I show up and what time should I be there? It happens in sports. It happens in movies. It happens in life. You suddenly are thrown together with 3 or 4 other people and you just know you have the power. It's unreal. Everybody is good. Everybody is challenging each other. And within 3 weeks, we were soaring. It just happens. And when you know that, when you walk into a room and you see another band, a headlining band up there, and you say, tonight, you're ours. We own this place. That was our attitude. I cannot express enough to you what that feels like to be able to just walk in, take charge, and do it. That's what happened with the Watchman. We were working on our amplifiers one day. We were putting some together. And our manager ran in and he said, hey guys, pack your bags. Tonight you're leaving for LA. You're doing a movie. We said, yeah, okay. And we kept on with what we were doing. So we had a gig at the Fillmore that weekend and we really wanted to play. So it's been canceled. You're going to do a Hollywood movie. So off we went. being on the set, we were there for about 2 weeks. You shot during the daytime or you shot at night. And it's fun for me to see these opening scenes because I see a lot of our band members walking back and forth in the opening scenes. But if you weren't playing at night, you were playing at the parties for all the producers and all the directors that were there. Now imagine all these guys over 40 wearing Beatle wigs, smoking Asthmador cigarettes because they thought they smelled like pot. All these young starlets running, and they let us, 5 of us, loose into this place. It was unbelievable. It was like cherry picking from heaven. So we found ourselves in this situation, but we were at a loss. The Standells were supposed to be the stars of this movie. They had just come out with Dirty Water. They had a big hit on their hands. They were also owned by the same company that we worked with. And so this movie was to feature the Standells, and oh, by the way, we'll throw the Chocolate Watch Band in there. On top of it, nobody told us we had to come up with our own music, original music for this. So we're sitting there on the old Elvis Presley soundstage, which makes this stage really look nice, with a 4-track recorder, and as quickly as we could write songs in the elevator and I could write lyrics, we recorded these 2 songs that appeared in this movie. What we decided to do was create and share with you the same energy, whether it was here in the movies, on the stage at the Fillmore Auditorium or the San Jose Civic Auditorium, it didn't matter. That's who this band was. The beauty of it today is I left that behind me. I left at 21 and turned my back on it and said, I'll never play music again. It was done. And now when I hear all these young bands recording our music, when I see all these videos on YouTube, I'm just as perplexed as I guess as the next person. I don't quite understand it, except there's a truthfulness to it. There's a truthfulness to this music. It's not A&R'd until it's dead. It's not equipment that you would never be able to play on stage. What you see up here is exactly what we played on stage. It's exactly the same thing, and that was critical and important to us. And the other thing is this. I've met a lot of people who sit down and talk to me and they say, when I was in high school, I was a football star. And we'll talk about when they were in high school. That was the pinnacle of their life. I have to be honest with you. This was not the pinnacle of my life. It was the pinnacle of being 19 years old, absolutely. But I have been most fortunate to have other pinnacles in my life, and each day is a pinnacle. And here's the secret I've discovered. I'll share this with you. It's as simple as this. Surround yourself with people who are just as excited about life as you are, friends that are just as excited about what's going on and the possibilities and the capabilities, and you will stay as young forever as that 19-year-old kid up there on the stage singing.
I forgot something to tell you about this movie, a little piece of trivia you may enjoy. The Standells came in before we did their show and were gone. We never met them. But the Enemies, that second little group that played kind of innocuous music, they were the nicest guys. We loved playing with them. But they were so bad, somebody on the set named them the Enemas. But the joke was on us. 3 years later, the 2 lead singers and the drummer reformed another band, and they called it 3 Dog Night.